All right. All right, guys. Welcome to our second episode. We were planning to upload our video last Tuesday, right?
That's Monday. Oh wait, let me check.
Yeah, last Monday actually.
Yeah.
But no, last Tuesday.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. So, but anyway, so because of Wesley, so you need to. You need to apologize.
I had some personal issues. I had to have. I think it was dinner with my girlfriend, so I apologize.
Oh, anyway, just kidding. So today we're gonna talk about mental health and Bible. So, but anyway, at first we want to say happy birthday to Republic of China.
Happy birthday!
The 113th birthday of Republic of China, which is the democracy China. So, but anyway, we are not professional therapists. So today we're just gonna talk about something based on our past experience, right?
Yeah.
If you need help, if you have any mental health needs, please go to see a professional therapist. But at first, you're Taiwanese, I'm Chinese, so in general, we thought the mental health issue is actually more serious in Asia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we all have very controlling parents, and usually we laugh about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing. Yeah.
Yeah. In Asia, we call it character development.
Yeah.
Right. But by the time pass, actually, the Asian society, we now we have the awareness of what is mental health and how should we raise our kid better. But in the past, when we were a kid, we really had Asian parents, right? So why don't you talk about something like in Taiwan, like how Taiwanese parents educate you when you do something wrong?
Well, I would say, like, at least for my parents were very open-minded, and I would like to thank them for me being as normal as I am today. But I have witnessed a lot of normal parents, like, let's say a lot of parents like public shaming. So if like some kid does some stuff in public, they would not hesitate to say some stuff that's really hard to hear, or just straight up very insulting to the kid in public, or even like some, what would we call it? How would we say, like, tifa, physical punishment? Would you say this is how you would say it? Yeah, they wouldn't hesitate to do so, or even that's like in public. Or if at home, my parents didn't really hit me, but usual parents that you would just get beat. Yeah.
Yeah, they use like their sandals, right?
Oh, or mostly my uncle would beat my cousin a lot. We would use a thing called like 藤条. It's like it looks like bamboo, but it's thin and long, and you can like, it hurts really bad. I've been beat by my teacher with that before, but just not my parents. But mostly parents, they would just, at least my cousin. Actually, I could talk about that. Every time me and my cousin we were playing video games, and if he starts throwing a tantrum, starts being like, oh man, start getting upset. My uncle would hear that, come in with the 藤条, go like, Wesley, get out, about to beat him up. And I would go outside, he would close the door, and I would just hear just a crazy beating happening in the room. But yeah, that's usually how it goes. Or if he hears a curse word, my cousin says some bad word, comes in like, Wesley, get out. Just Yeah, it was always like that. My parents weren't like that though, but I was around a lot of it when I was growing up, especially if I was getting hit at school too. But yeah.
Yeah, I was actually shocked that like in Taiwan, the teacher really like do the physical punishment.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some teachers, they don't do it as bad. Some really like go into it. So there's levels. So I had a teacher that would just straight up had a you know those chopsticks that are super long that you use to pick up noodles in a big pot, like super long chopsticks. He would hit us with that.
Wow.
And another time he would hit us like with an iron bar or something like that. And another situation was our homeroom teacher, 班导师, homeroom teacher.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the Marines. And he was served in the Taiwanese military. So he doesn't play around. Every time if he was trying to talk to us and we talk back, he would just straight up punch you in the chest, or like drag you, punch you in the chest, throw you on the ground, and be like, I said, listen, it's something like that. That's another type. Some just get violent like that. Some would just be like, oh, if you do this, I will hit you X amount of times.
Wait, so that was in high school or?
That was in high school, yeah.
Oh man, that sounds like Marine Corps.
Yeah. But that was like that one. It depends on the teacher. Not everyone does that. That not everyone does that. Depends on the teacher. Some go further than others.
But well, you know what, the very interesting thing is, in China they usually don't do the physical punishment, but you know, like China is a communist country, right? So lots of kids, they were depressed, and when I was in school, not only one time I heard like there are a kid, they jump off the building.
Oh.
Well, not in my city,
but like what age?
Like middle school or high school.
Middle school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like, well, you know, in that kind of society is when you only have one way to climb up in the society, then the kids and also the parents, they have lots of pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the parents will throw all the pressure on the kid, and at the same time the kid is so young and they cannot take that much pressure. So it's actually, well, I will not say it's a very common thing, but it's not rare.
That's very sad that they're killing themselves in middle school because of grades and stuff.
Yeah, like, you know, if you don't get like 3A or 3A plus, then definitely there are some consequences when you go back home.
That's right? Grades in middle school doesn't matter. I don't know.
It doesn't matter in your family or in Taiwan?
I mean, it does, but the thing is, like, when you look back, did it really matter? Yeah.
It doesn't at all.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it gets you into a good high school, and they want you to get... Oh, and that's another thing. They want you to get into a public high school, a public college, a public university. But no matter what high school you go to, you can still get into a nice university. So what grades you get in middle school doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Yeah, and if there is any parents in front of the screen, as Asian kid, if you're Asian parents, you know, we just want to let you know that it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not a good student when I was in high school. I was not a good student.
You telling me?
So, but today I'm still sitting here, and you know, mental health wise, I think I'm, totally fine.
Yeah, he's doing good, and he graduated with an aerospace degree. That's yeah.
Yeah,
so it's like yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just don't push your kid. Like, let them have a childhood. But
I have another really good example.
Yeah.
My cousin, my other cousin, not the one that gets beat, but this cousin, his dad also beats him. Fun fact.
Jeez.
I'm a lucky kid. But yeah. But okay, so this was pretty recent, but this was the case since I was growing up. Recently, my mom was asking her sister, which is my cousin's mom, like, hey, do you want to come have dinner with us sometime with mom? And then she was like, no, they have an exam in January. It's October. It's October right now, and they're like, no, we can't go out because the kids have the exam to prepare in January. Yeah, and they're like, they need to focus. They can't. Blah, blah, blah. It's just for one dinner, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that kind of a thing in China?
Yeah.
That far out, like
Unfortunately.
it's 3 months away.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm pretty sure if you go out for one dinner, you're not going to you're not going to bomb your test, right?
Yeah, but in
I don't
Asia,
know.
everybody is like, make the whole thing so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
3 months, like 3 or 4 months is earlier.
Yeah. It's so intense. Even our homeroom teacher was telling us once it gets to the big test, the 学测 for college. If you can cheat, then do it. I was pretty surprised when I heard that, but he was like, when it comes down to it, if you can cheat to get a better score to get you in a better school, then do it. But yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to the United States.
Oh yeah.
So we've been here years, right? And when I was in China and when you were in Taiwan, we never realized like the mental health issue is such a big thing
No.
in the U.S., right? Basically, all the other countries we look up to the United States, but when we really came here, we were like, oh wow, there are so many families and their kids got like mental health issue, and their parenting style is just so unhealthy, and is so toxic. And sometimes, well, I really don't want to use this word, but from psychology viewpoint, sometimes you can really call something is evil in the parenting style. Unfortunately. But
I mean, if it leads to bad things, then yeah.
yeah. So, but there's a thing. As Christian, we often heard like people say, "Oh, you don't need to go to see the therapist," or sometimes even the person who really need help from therapists say, "I don't think I need to see the therapist," right? But from my viewpoint is, if you go to see a doctor, when you break your leg, when you go to see a doctor when you have a fever, if you don't feel ashamed by it, then why you feel ashamed by go to see a therapist, right? Yeah. So just like that, like if you break your leg, you will not go out and say, hey, I'm gonna go for a hike, right? So at the same time, you will be like, oh, I need to go to see the doctor and fix this issue. So when you feel like you need help, just feel free to go to see the therapist or talk with your friends and talk with anybody you can trust in your church, or talk with your pastor. If you're watching this video, we just hope people can know that it's nothing shameful to have mental health issue.
No, not at all.
Nothing. It's just like when you have a fever or when you broke your leg. It's such a normal thing. We're all human. We're all flesh, and it's such a normal thing that we got some issue. So from what I see in my life is usually narrow-minded family will cause lots of mental health issue. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I would say so, because the more you restrict your kids, the more they would want to do things that you don't want them to do, because it causes more curiosity. And at the same time, if they can't trust you, if you're super, I mean, you could be strict to a certain degree, but like if you're so strict to the point that they don't trust you, how are they going to have a good mental health if they can't even trust their own parents? Yeah.
we're actually very familiar with this kind of family environment. Like in Asia, there are lots of parents, they limit their kids. Like you can only just stay at home.
Yeah.
You cannot go to another city. You cannot go travel by yourself.
Yeah.
Everything is so dangerous outside, right? And in Asia, it's also very common that when you get married, if you're a boy, then when you get married, like your parents will often get involved into your relationship.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's
my whole life story. My parents' whole life story. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
It's why they're not together anymore. Part of why. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so when the parents get involved into the relationship, and well, in most cases, it will ruin that relationship.
Yeah.
For their kids.
And
at the same time, it will cause damage, mentally damage for their kids and also their kids' partner. And recently we realized that called narcissistic, right? But before I came to the U.S., before you came to the U.S., we didn't really know what is narcissistic. But now we know that narcissistic family or parents will cause lots of problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So here's a Bible verse. Here is the Bible verse in my eyes that God says narcissistic parenting style or narcissistic family is not healthy at all. But of course, like in Bible, you will not see things about narcissistic, but Bible still talk about it. In Ephesians chapter 5, 31, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and shall be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. I don't know if you can share the same understanding with me on this one, but I do think like when a kid, when they turn to 18, like they should have the right to develop their own personality, you know, their own skill, and to have their own life.
Yeah.
But it's not very common in Asia. But now we see it's also happening in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like this kind of family environment.
In a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, in a different way. Like this person cannot drive for over 30 minutes or over 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Or you cannot go to another state, you cannot go to another city.
Or if you have a curfew when you're in college or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is actually very toxic. Like when I was 16 or 17, I remember I just traveled to whatever place I want to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you meet lots of new people, and you know, and when you talk with them, you learn lots of different things, and you try different foods, and you you know, it just a really amazing memory. So have you ever traveled to other cities when you were in Taiwan?
Yeah,
when you were young.
Yeah, I went to France by myself when I was 16. Well, I moved to England when I was 5, and then I moved to France when I was 7, and I moved back to Taiwan when I was 9, and I just stayed there. But I went to France by myself when I was 16 to visit a friend.
Man, you were so lucky, you know.
Yeah, it was a nice experience, but my dad... Wait, have I told you this story before? I did? About me living in England?
Oh, yeah, about like people kind of bully you.
Oh, so,
right?
oh yeah. So I did tell you why I lived there. Yeah, it was a good experience, but it sucked because that's how I learned the English. Um, but yeah, it was that. I would say that helped. That helped a lot in, I don't know, being more. I don't know, independent, doing stuff with myself. So yeah, my mom was really worried, but she was still okay with me just going to France by myself or something like that.
But she didn't stop you,
No,
right? Yeah.
no, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're.
We found a cheap ticket and we were like,
Mm.
maybe I should go. Yeah. And also, I also got I got lost when I went there because I went outside and I was walking around and I just got lost. And but a couple hours I still found my way back because it was kind of fun. Yeah.
Well, that's how you get more skill.
Yeah.
You know, in your life, you solve the problem and then you learn new things. But I don't know if that is the generation problem. But you see, like lots of parents, they don't allow their kid to try new things and solve problem by themselves, and then their kid, they actually rob their kid.
Yeah.
Right? They rob the skill from their kid. They rob the opportunity to be from their kid to become a independent individual.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of case is not rare in my life, and I believe you also.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but talk about narcissistic. You know what? Actually, Chinese government is a narcissistic government.
Mm-hmm.
Like they control everything,
Mm-hmm.
and when your residency is in this city, and if you want to move to another city, like when you get a new job, you have to report and do this and do that and get another document, and then you can rent a property or apartment to live there.
Oh, in China?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you know, it's not like in the U.S. you can just move to any state you want. But I thought about this. Actually, what is the core value of communism? Do you have any idea?
I feel like it's so it's fair because if everyone puts in the work, we can all enjoy the results together. I think that's the core. I like at least my interpretation.
Man, you're a real Taiwanese.
Yeah.
You're a real Taiwanese. So from my understanding, the core value of communism, or the core logic of communism, is control.
Okay. Or maybe I misunderstood. Do you mean like core value or like the original meaning of what communism is supposed to be?
Man, the original meaning of communism is a lie. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lie.
It is a lie. But
Yeah.
for me, when I hear that, I'm just like, well, in theory, it could be nice, but then it's just easier to be controlled, because then if we work together, then whoever is distributing the stuff can just be controlling.
Yeah, they need to control everything in your life, like how you were born, and how you die someday, and you know, they need to control everything. So when I really started reading the psychology book, and when I saw the term narcissistic, I was like, wow, that is Chinese government.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally Chinese government, like how they do things, how they think about things, and how they face the challenge. If somebody say, oh, you guys did something wrong, they will be like, no, we didn't do nothing wrong. No matter how many people died for their policy, but they will still be like, we did nothing wrong.
It's for the greater good. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question. So how many people died because of communism in China? Do you have a number pop up in your head?
Let me think. I think so. I think I have an idea. Is it about like 70 million people?
About that number.
About 70 million people.
Yeah. From the Great Famine and from the Cultural Revolution.
Ooh.
Yeah, about that number.
Ooh. Wow.
It's more than the Second World War, so.
Not a lot of people know about that though.
Yeah, not about people know about that. So, well, and the funny thing is, till today, lots of Americans still don't know much about China.
Yeah, no. Yeah, when people ask me, so what's the relationship between Taiwan and China? I just have no idea. I had this girl, she was like, so is Taiwan like part of Japan or something?
Japan.
I was like, what? Then why didn't I just say I'm from Japan? But yeah, they don't really. Well, which is it's not their fault because it's not really taught and it's confusing because you know both sides believe.
It's really hard to tell an American about the situation.
Yeah, because instead of one being part of the other country, it's both countries believe that they're the same thing. So, yeah, it's a complicated matter.
But at least we know is if I go to Taiwan, I need to get a visa and show my passport. So.
Oh, I didn't know you need a visa to go to Taiwan.
Yeah, like I do, and yeah. So when you go to another country and when you need a visa, then that is a country.
if you need a visa to come to Taiwan, then how are we?
Right. So,
that's funny.
Yeah, but just like in a narcissistic country or in a narcissistic family, there is one thing will usually happen is when you say, "Hey, I think I need help. I think I need to see the therapist."
Mm-hmm.
In lots of cases, the parents or your family member or someone close to you will say, "No, I don't think you need to see the therapist." Or when you have a narcissistic parents, people will say, "But they're your parents, but they're your family." So this kind of environment will stop people from going to see a therapist.
Yeah,
it's actually very dark, and very sad.
And if you believe that a therapist won't help, then it won't.
Yeah, but in my eyes, therapists, they're just like doctors.
Yeah.
Right? So the doctor fix physical issue and the therapist fix the mental issue.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if people deny your mental health needs, I think we have a good Bible verse for this one. It's John chapter 3, 20 to 21. Do you want to read it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The 20 to 21. Everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come into the light for fear that their deeds will be exposed. But whoever lives by the truth comes into the light so that it may be seen plainly that what they have done has been done in the sight of God. Is this part 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this one, no.
Okay.
So, so from my understanding is, if you really look into a narcissistic parent's mind, then their real purpose is also like they want to control.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just want to control everything. So when you really go to see a therapist, the therapist will make the person who need help know that, hey, this is what happened in your family, and this is what your parents did to you, right? So in this kind of case, sometimes the parents were the family member who did the harmful things will be like, no, you don't need to. You don't need to go to see the therapist. But actually you do. And that's probably the most important opportunity in your life to really think about your life, to think about your family, and to think how to get yourself out from that kind of environment. That's from, from what I see in my life. Have you ever seen any narcissistic family?
Yeah, I would say so. I've seen a lot, especially growing up in Asia. Most of my friends' parents were like that because they have to do exactly what they say. I would say in some of my past relationships, my partners, they probably had narcissistic parents too, especially like exploiting their kids and stuff like that. I believe so.
That's sad, man.
I've definitely seen that. Because it's like then their goal is to benefit themselves, not their kid.
Yeah. And usually narcissistic parents see their kids as part of their own life. So they don't see their kids as a independent individual. So, and that is part of Asian culture.
Yeah. Especially because how many parents have you heard like tell their kids like, or like Asian American kids like, oh, when you grow up you need to be doctor, you just need to study so you can go to medical school. Yeah, because why do you want your kid to be a doctor? Because they have money to. Yeah,
they have money
to pay back to you, which I believe everyone should pay back to their parents. At least I believe so, because at least my mom has done a lot for me. But most of them, I think that the act of if I want a kid and I say, go be a doctor, with the intention of so they have money to keep us all wealthy. I think that's wrong. Yeah. Because I think if I wanted a kid, I should already have money to support the kid.
Yeah.
Not that we have to be crazy rich, but crazy rich Asians. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. And that is not the normal case in Asian society. Just want you guys to know.
Oh, except the mother hating the wife. That's true. That is true.
Well, not my mom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, not everyone. But
yeah, not everyone.
Not everyone. Oh. It's sometimes it happens.
Well, even though we put lots of time on narcissistic family today or parents, but it also apply on like any other mental health issue. Like if you feel depressed, if you feel like there is something wrong in your life, then just go to see a therapist.
Yeah.
Because usually the kind of narcissistic parents or a very narrow-minded family, they usually close the door for their kids. Like, oh, when you want to go out and talk with your friend, no, you cannot, and we got something else to do. So when they say that, they actually close the door for their kids to getting help.
Yeah.
Right.
Because everyone wants to listen to their parents, right? Even if I want to go to a therapist, and my mom says, no, don't go to a therapist. Even if I'm clear-minded enough to know that I need to, I would still doubt myself. Like, oh, if my mother says no, she knows everything, so maybe I shouldn't. I would have that thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but when we get to some point in our life, we realize that our parents have their own limit.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know everything, and they can guide us when we were a kid. They could guide us, but they don't know everything. So someday when you see their limitation, it's the time for you to talk with your friends and to live your own life like in the way you want. And same, if you think you need help, just go for it. Don't get stopped by anybody. Is that working? Awesome.
Yeah, we're good.
So if anybody deny your mental health medical needs, just don't listen to them. Just go to see the therapist, or talk with your friends. So that's what happened in my life. In the darkest time in my life, I go to talk with my friends, my coworker, and the people in my church.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really appreciate people in my church. I will not say their last name,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't really remember everybody's last name anyway. But I do want to say thank you to Patrick and Brendan, Aaron, and Mark and Mariana. Who else? Let me think about it. And some church friends, like even though I didn't like really talk with you often, but the way you act, the way you live your life, also inspired me in my darkest time. Let me think about it. Brendan and Adam, I don't know if you're gonna watch this video, but and Kendra. Yeah, that's the name that can pop up in my head at this moment. But trust me, there are lots of people in our life. They would love to help us.
Mm.
They would love to help us in our dark time. And from my understanding is, God actually put these people in our life.
Mm-hmm.
At some point. God will use them to lift us up, to help us, and then your future will be bright. So yeah, just don't be shy.
Mm-hmm.
Just go talk with people. Go to talk with people that go to talk with somebody that you can trust. And some people will mock you, laugh at you when you're in pain, or when you're trying to find yourself in your life. But remember, we have another Bible verse for this. It's going to be Galatians chapter 6, verse 7.
Okay. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever one sows, that will he also reap. Do not be misled. You cannot mock the justice of God. You will always harvest what you plant. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
So we all know that, like, when a person in a difficult time, like, if people mock this person, it's a wrong thing to do. But just like this verse is said, they will get what they planted, and God will make the right thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And sometimes when people mock you, when people laugh at you in your difficult time, sometimes we feel like, there's no hope for tomorrow. There's no one who would love to support us, and there's no one understand our pain. I went through that time, and we all have that time in our life. But what happened in my life is God sent people into my life, and God sent not only one people in my life to help me, to talk with me, to tell me how to go through this time, and also lead me to the Word of God. So just like what I read from Bible here, Jeremiah chapter 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and hope. So God has a plan for us, and no matter how dark is that time, how difficult is that time, like, just don't lose your hope and don't lose your faith, and some good things will always happen. and when we pray, to God, like in our dark time, God will listen to us. Before I came to the US, I didn't believe that, like when we pray, God will listen to me, like in a communist country. But my past 8 years, my past 9 years has already told me that God will listen to my prayers. And so I really want to share this verse with you guys, which is Psalm 34, 17 to 18.
34, 13 to 18. This one?
Yep, that one.
When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit.
Ooh. I love this verse, man.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
It just I had a really difficult time. I'm gonna say about 1 year ago, and I was just so depressed, and I was just sitting at home, and sometimes I just stare at a wall for like 3 or 4 hours, without doing nothing. And then I was like, I have about like 4 or 5 Bible at home, so I just, I was like, oh, you know what? I think I should read Bible and pray. And then I saw this verse, and it supported me in that super dark time. So,
because it helped you realize that
God is with me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, sometimes when people mock us, or when people laugh at us when they don't understand us, or when you live in a situation that people from your own culture doesn't understand you, it could be really hard. I went through that time, and I'm probably still going through that time now.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you know me, so.
Yeah.
But here is a really good verse for this kind of situation. It's Isaiah chapter 41, 10.
Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand.
So when I read about this verse, I was like, you know what? I should not over worry about things in our life. Like, we should just hand everything to God and just pray.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just sit down and pray and talk with people. The most important thing is go out. Go outside of your door, drive around, call your friends, and talk with people and ask for their advice. So if we talk about some good advice in my life, I want to thank 2 persons. One is Tammy, and another one is Frank. I really want to thank you in my difficult time. You guys spend time and talk with me, and you guys give me lots of very good advice, just like I was your son. And also Mark, I'm sorry, I forgot about you. My bad. So that was really helpful. Hey, have you get some good advice from your friends, or?
Let me think. I would say like I also like good advice from my mom. Like every time.
Oh man, you're so lucky.
Yeah, I run into some really crazy stuff. She would her mindset would be like one step at a time, and it'll be fine. And because I get really stressed, but when I remember that, I'm just like, oh, I just. And then she would also say, if you have a list of tasks, don't be afraid to start with the easier ones, because you, as Asian people, like, let's finish the hard ones first.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be easier after that. But she would be like, don't be afraid to start on the easy ones first, because eventually you have to do all of them. Like if you stress yourself out from the beginning, you can go out, take a walk, breathe a little bit, and come back, and you'll be okay, one step at a time, stuff like that. Which is what I appreciate, because Asian parents are usually very like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
Let's get this thing done.
Let's get this thing done. Yeah. Yeah. What's 1 + 1? Too slow. You know. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. What is anxiety? We don't know what is anxiety in Asia.
Now solve that square root problem. Yeah. There's no such thing as. I don't think there's a such thing as mental health, because I remember it growing
in Asia.
up. In Asia. And growing up, kids with ADHD would be put in a problem kid class.
Yeah.
Like, because in Mandarin we call it what, 过动症, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And growing up, people who had I have ADHD. I was just one of the less severe ones, but the kids who had that were more severe. They were considered a problem child, or like, special ed or special needs, which is like, they're not getting the proper help that they need, because they're different than some other special need kids. Yeah. So like it's just not very. People don't put a lot of effort in understanding how to help them. Yeah.
But we must say it here is, we joke about it when we say in Asia we don't know what is anxiety.
Yeah.
We are joking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do know what is anxiety, and but the last generation probably, they were like, oh, we don't know what is that.
Just tough it out.
Yeah, but that is not healthy at all. That is not a healthy attitude of facing that problem.
Yeah.
And I also have another verse want to share with you guys. Is the 1 Peter chapter 5:7, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. So I saw lots of people, they leave the church and they say, oh, like the things I prayed for, like it didn't happen. I heard about this a lot.
Yeah, like them saying praying did not work, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I cannot say anything from another person's viewpoint, right? But from what I saw in my life is, every time I pray for something, I sit down and pray, and God will help me solve that issue in a magical or miracle way. And it always happened. Just like I actually thought about, like, I want to make a podcast from like 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, I want to make a podcast, and I couldn't find a person who would love to do it with me. So I prayed to God.
You've been thinking about it for that long?
For a long time.
Nice.
For a long time, but I know it's gonna happen someday. So I prayed for it, and now it's happening. Nice. Right?
I'm glad we're making it happen.
Yeah, we're making it happen, and we're gonna make it happen for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to mention about one person, and this person is one of my friend, and who is going through depression. And I just want to let this person know. I will not say it's a he or she, but you are very brave, and I think you did a great job. When you are going through this situation, you also have a strong connection with God, and you didn't doubt God, and you are the person that I've ever seen who did the best job, I'm gonna say. So if you're watching this video, you know I'm talking about you, and I'm really happy for you. And just keep doing it, and you can do it. Trust me. So at the end, I want to say thank you to those therapists who is working hard and helping people. And I really want to say thank you to every therapist, if there is any therapist in front of the screen now, because you guys are doing a great job. And I saw this situation, like mental health situation, in my life on lots of people around me. So I know how difficult it is, and I know how many people they feel ashamed by it. And someday I want to be a therapist. I want to be a therapist, and if there is a therapist in front of the screen, if you're watching this video, if you have any suggestion for me, like what kind of degree I need to get to become a therapist, and if you have any suggestion, please send me something. Send me some advice to our email. I will put our email under this video on YouTube. So, or if anybody have any suggestion for our podcast, please feel free to send email to us. You are more than welcome to point out any mistake you think we made, or any suggestion you think can help us to make our podcast better. Just feel free to email us. And we also, I'm gonna list a few psychology books under our video. If you're going through some hard time, if you have a narcissistic parents, or you have narcissistic family member or partner, I think these books will be really helpful for you. I read these 5 books in the past 2 months, so they're really good, and it's not very expensive on Amazon. So and also we have a song we want to share with our audience. Is Help Is On the Way. I will also put the link down below this video. But anyway, thanks for everyone who is watching our podcast, and remember God is always with us. If you have a hard time, pray and talk with your friends, and open as many doors as possible for yourself in your life. There's nothing to be ashamed about it. It's totally fine when you have mental health issue. It's totally fine. Just like you have a fever, you broke your leg, things happen in life. Just get help. And if anybody want to stop you, don't listen to them, because we all need help in some point in our life, right? And me and Wesley, we will pray for anybody who is going through a hard time, who is having a mental health issue at this moment, and we hope God can lead you walk out from this situation as soon as possible. And thank you very much, and we're gonna see you guys probably next week.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, and we're probably gonna talk about another topic, and if you have any suggestion, or if you're interested in any topic, you can also send email to us. But for now, in my head, I'm thinking about Asian stereotype.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Asian stereotype in the U.S. society. So, but anyway, thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.
Thank you.